In this video, we're going to talk about how I became a self-taught web developer with a degree in computer science. This might sound weird, but stay with me and I'll explain everything. Hey, this is Eddie from RStudio Works, accompanying you on your journey to become an indie software developer. On this channel, I give you tips and advice on becoming an indie software developer, creating your very own software products and services. If you're new here, please consider subscribing and make sure you press on the bell icon so you don't miss any of my future videos. The title of this video might be a little bit controversial. You might be thinking to yourself like, how can someone be a self-taught software developer and also have a degree in computer science? Having a computer science degree usually means you're not self-taught. But first allow me to give a little bit of context about how I started. I already had a bachelor's degree in electronics before coming to the US, but I wanted to live the American dream. I watched all these movies about successful startups, and I wanted to create my own unicorn startup. And in my mind, the only place to do that was to come to the US. I was in Mauritius at that time. I started applying for a few colleges in the US, but I got rejected by all of them. This happened because I had a bachelor's degree from the UK, and that didn't transfer exactly to a bachelor's degree in the US. I almost gave up on my dreams after all these rejections. But then I asked my cousin who was studying in the US already to go and talk to the dean of his university. It turned out I only needed a few more classes to add to my courses to be eligible for the master's degree. So I applied to the University of Central Oklahoma for their master's degree, but the thing is, they didn't have a pure computer science master's degree. What they had instead was an applied math program with specialization in computer science. So I had to take more math classes than computer science classes. I wasn't a fan of math classes, but I had to pass all of them in order to get the master's degree. Now let me tell you a little bit about the computer science classes I had. Since that was the master's degree with the major being mathematics, I did not have the same amount of classes as a computer science degree. I had a data structures class and I had a few C++ classes. And all of them were mostly about algorithms and big word notations and stuff like that. Nothing really that would put me on the way to create my unicorn startup as I wanted. There was only one class that actually had a Java component to it, and we had to finish a project. I had no knowledge of Java before that class, so I was about to find out how to be self-taught. The class itself would not teach you anything about Java. It was more about creating a project, managing the project, working in teams, and the end result should be a bidding website. Since I was the only master's student in that class, I couldn't recruit any team members because I had to be graded separately. So with zero knowledge in Java, I had to produce a functional website by the end of the semester. So I had the choice to use Java Server Pages or Java Server Faces. I started studying from the book recommended by the schools, which was called Java Server Faces. There were a lot of examples in the book that I applied, and everything I didn't know about, I had to research on the internet. After a lot of research, a lot of trial and error, a lot of going back and forth, and just looking for code on the internet, I managed to have a working project at the end of the semester. I was really proud that I managed to finish that project. I learned so much on the way. But now thinking back about the code I wrote back in the days, it was a lot of spaghetti code, and I wouldn't want to refactor that. I had a lot of fun developing this project. I thought it was really nice, and I enjoyed it a lot, and I was very satisfied with the end product. And I thought Java was a pretty nice language, and I decided to specialize in it. I wanted to go deeper into Java using online courses, like on Udemy or mostly on YouTube. I gained a lot of knowledge using these courses, mainly in JSPs, servlets, Spring Boot, Spring MVC. One of my favorite courses on Udemy is Mastering Microservices with Spring Boot. And these courses are what landed me my first job in software development. As you can see, a degree in itself does not really prepare you for the real world programming. All the algorithms and puzzles you try to solve during your course in computer science are not very useful in the workplace. But it is, of course, fundamental for programming itself. It's a very good thing to have under your belt. Knowing algorithms, knowing how to solve puzzles, big O notations, I believe all these help you develop your logical mind. And I think that's why companies now require every candidate to go through an interview with data structures and algorithms. But I also believe this is just to get you through the door at that company. Because once you start working there, you will hardly use any of these algorithms. Most of what you'll be doing is fixing bugs and using allowed libraries to implement whatever you need your software to do. My simple analogy to that is being able to drive a car and being able to repair a car. You don't really need to know how to repair a car to drive it. So you don't really need to have that kind of in-depth knowledge to write software. You can write pretty decent software using libraries and knowing how to use them. So it really depends on what you want in your career. Do you want to get a job at a company, working for a company, or do you want to bootstrap your own company? If you're going the corporate route, you need to know all these data structures to get your foot in the door. But if you're only bootstrapping, I would say you don't really require all these data structures. You just need to know how to code things very quickly and make things work. Most of my current programming knowledge I have learned on my own, either by following online courses or asking my colleagues who are more experienced than me. This is why I believe that having a degree really helped me land a job. But if I only wanted to do my startups, I didn't really need to go through a CS degree to do that. I think just learning from online courses would have been sufficient for me to create my startup. So the advice I have for you if you're bootstrapping, that is creating your own small companies with whatever technologies you have at hand, just learn whatever you need from online courses. Don't get too attached to technologies, just learn whatever you need to make your project work. For example, if you know Angular already and then the new trend is to use React, don't be caught up by trends. Just use whatever you have at hand and make your project work as soon as possible. Creating that first prototype and getting market feedback is essential to make your project a success. Well, I hope you got a lot of value out of this video. Please go ahead and smash the like button, as this helps with the YouTube algorithm to show my videos to more people. This will help me bring out more videos for you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.